Okay, so today I'm gonna be doing a second video after this, just showing legit all the work that I'm gonna be going up to. And I have a lot of planning ideas that are going through my head right now that I gotta get through. Like, there is obviously the main thing is my clothing brand. That is gonna be the focus. That's the heart. That's the bread and butter. But I've been like having conversations with friends, and no one necessarily made it yet, but one of them is doing insanely well. Another one is like very, very smart in certain things. So I've gotten a lot of things to talk about, and just like talking about my family, and really, to be honest, the most thing is talking to myself. Like, what does Jamal want? What do you want? I feel like you got to do the same thing. Like, I was just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm so like certain people and certain things. Maybe not in characteristics, but like, for example, like Kai Cenat with his new way of like his new account just posting stuff is like low key. That's how I wanted to do it, and I want to just start doing stuff how I want to do it and not wait for someone else to do it in order for me to feel okay to do it. So this is kind of, I guess, obviously the guy thing, but for what I'm gonna do, I have it in mind. I'm gonna do it. But for today, I'm just gonna work on the stuff I was working on yesterday, and getting a better concept of like what the hell I want to do, and just some brand stuff, and you guys will see that. But for the most part, the like I said, the clothing brand is the bread and butter, and for right now, it's focusing on la ilaha illallah, focusing on what other thing am I going to be doing. Like, the clothing brand is my bread and butter. That's my main goal, but I obviously need to make something to really fund that if I can't get funding and all that kind of stuff, because just paperwork stuff is just taking so long while I'm here in Saudi. So I'm thinking of either just doing what I did in the U.S., which is my websites, and I found an even easier way to do it, I guess, because I feel like I was being lazy and I wasn't picking the clients that I really wanted to work with, so it just gave me more reason to not want to do it. And then there's this new idea of the hotel stuff, and I'll talk about that in another video. Well, it's simply just being a middleman, supplying stuff to hotels. But that's starting like a whole new thing. I've already started it. I've done it for for a while, and I was trying to get clients while I was in the U.S., but it just didn't end up working until I came here. And I think I found an opening, but one of my friends made a point. It's like, you think it's gonna be easy, but then when you get to a certain point, like, okay, where certain things have to process and all that, it's gonna be a whole other thing. You have to put your time into it. So why not just continue doing the web design? But now I'm thinking of like web design with my clients. And then another thing was, I was doing insanely good at recruiting when I was doing my door-to-door sales, like insanely good at it. And what if I just come up with an idea of how to automate that? And I was gonna think about talking to my manager and see what he thinks, just to like brainstorm and just see like if that's something I should really like pick between the like out of those three, of like of of like automating the process, making it easier to find people and recruit and get them on board, and managing them and seeing their skills, and like maybe make it like an app or something like that. I don't know, but something along those lines. And then on top of it, there's that. And then another thing was, someone I know said, because I tried so many businesses, as you guys know, I've done so. Some of those I've already done or started. I used to do drop shipping. I consider music as a business as well, because that's like, I feel like that's like, I was trying to monetize. I was posting. I was trying to get people to see. So yeah, and try to optimize how much I can make through like Spotify and SoundCloud and whatnot. So I'll consider that part of it. Music, drop shipping, marketing, and then whatever called, not procurement, but like signing for contractors and all that kind of stuff. Like, I've done a lot. Like, I've done a lot and still want to do a lot. And I could still do all of these, but I feel like at least I want to have two. One where it's like not a lot of capital to get started, and I can just do it. And then a second one where it's like that the first one is funding probably the second one, right? And then obviously they slowly end up making their own, right? Like, when the clothing brand really does its thing, then okay, it makes sense, right? Like, instead of going to work a job to make the money for the brand, I'll just create something where I can make as much as I want to make through my efforts, versus like having to wake up at a certain time, going up, like the freedom to just like, if I want to like not work this day, I can go and do that kind of stuff. But caveat, that doesn't mean like I'm just not gonna work. I don't know. It's just like, in the grand scheme of things, like, let's say I work freaking 16 hours every single day. I want to take a rest day, and like, rather than calling off and getting write-ups and all, you know what I mean? Like, you have more freedom to do that. Or, like, I can go to the gym whenever I freely want to, or eat whenever I want to, that kind of stuff. But anyways, so this is going to be what I'm going to be focused on today. I'm going to ask my manager, my old regional manager, see what he thinks of, like, I'm going to just ask some questions about, like, for when I was doing the recruiting and when he was what's it called, and how he recruits and the finalization and all that kind of stuff, and the stuff I learned and what was hard and that kind of stuff. So yeah. Oh, what I was actually trying to say, my friend was saying, through all those business ideas that I was doing, what was the thing that was the hardest for me to either continue in those businesses, or whatever it is that I wish that something could help me. And my thing was, like, I think it was not just like committing and taking it, but like the boring work. So what can I create to help people get the boring work out the way? So, like, whether it's finding them someone to do it for free, but after they make a certain amount of money, they have to pay. Or I don't know. This is just a random idea, but I just like thought for a split second. But yeah, so that's gonna be something I think about. But yeah, right now it's just moving with the motions. I'm eating right now. I don't know what this is called in Arabic or in English. This is not really that good, to be honest, but it has a lot of protein. I'm eating a total of 4, and then I got my sauce right here. But anyways, little scattered moment, but I'm ready to really take. I think this year is really taking myself to the next level. I think last year was gaining information, trying different stuff, and really putting myself out there. And then now it's like, okay, all the stuff I learned should be applied. And like watching Kai Cenat again, this will be the last thing I say, is like when I was watching him and how he's like breaking down the understanding of just what the fabric is in the garment. And I don't necessarily need to do it. Like, I can just like tell them this is the style I want, this is how I want it to look like, this is the fabric I want, boom, boom, call it a day. But I feel like knowing the intricacies that go into it, and like the designing and the fabrics, I really want to do that. So there's this one program called the Saudi Brand 100, and they bring people like big, insanely huge big brands, and people who've run brands or helped the brands become where they are, and then they teach you, and they bring like show you how to, like, the sewing and how it works, the stitching, the marketing, the brand identity, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really hoping my paperwork gets done so I can apply for it. If not, I'm probably just gonna try to finesse it with my mom, like put my name under her business, and then it goes everything under her name, but I just show up as her. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see how that works, because this is something I really want to do. Like, I don't think, like, until maybe next year if they do it again, but I don't think when I would have an opportunity to have a place of people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, people that I can relate to, and at the same time they're guiding me through the work that I'm doing. Like, I'm already learning it on my own, and I don't mind to continue to do that. But if it's free and everything is paid for, and I get the minds of these masterminds, then that's an opportunity. And I know sometimes I hear some of my peers who say, like, oh, like, that's not something I would do, or I don't care about that much, or whatever it is. But I know for me, like, I look at, like, live my life for me, and I'm gonna make another video just talking about that. But that's a little quick update from the video I just uploaded, and I'm still following those goals. Like, I'm slowly knocking them off. It's been we're almost halfway. I think tomorrow's will be the halfway mark of the month. So I'm getting better slowly and slowly. My gym, I'm so proud of myself. I'm gonna keep it for the next video, but I'll see you guys in a bit.